Yo, it's your boy Dean.
Tim.
Teran.
And it's another episode of the Dean's Office. Again, we want to thank everybody for participating, listening. We just, again, listen, subscribe, like, all the good stuff. And we support, we appreciate your support.
Share, please. Share. Let the world know what we're doing.
So for today, we just had some recent legislation change in Florida, and it looked like it's going to be over the whole country, so we're going to discuss it today.
It's a heavy one, man.
It's a heavy one. I don't know, but this is the Dean's Office, and we should be able to handle any and every topics that come, because people come to us for real, asking us for our advice.
Yeah.
Especially from a male perspective.
Yeah.
Yo.
World, you're needed in the Dean's Office.
Like we stated, this one a little deeper. You know what I'm saying? Disclaimer rather. We just want to make sure it's just from our perspective. We respect everyone that's involved in their feelings, in their
opinions.
And if you do have anything, we welcome all opinions, even if it doesn't agree with us, or you feel like we misstated something. You can go ahead and comment in there, and we'll do our best to address it as far as receiving that. All right. So what we also something new. You know what I'm saying? We just with our podcast, we're ever changing, trying to do what's best to give y'all the best product. So what we have and what was mentioned to us, our students. That's what we're gonna start calling our listeners
and viewers,
and supporters, our students.
Okay, cool. Because students do come into the dean office when they have different problems, and see how we or the dean can solve it, depending on what their needs are through that process. So, some of us, we're life learners, so you always can learn, so you always can be walking into the dean's office. So once again, we want to promote life learners, and y'all can be our students as much as we can refer to y'all as well. But we would love feedback from y'all. Just want to let you know that as well.
Yeah, the more feedback we get back, the better we can cater to your needs and what you want, and just making sure that we're giving you the best product.
Rate your professor. Y'all know the little app. Come on, just rate it.
There you go. Rate your professor, man. Speaking of comments, all right. So for today, it's a good one, and what we try to do is just discuss things that's going on in our life, like as if what we do. We normally talk when something happened on news break. We discuss that and have that conversation. So we kind of want to have that conversation on with today. Something that's big that happened in Florida, and as well as the country. Roe v Wade. It leaked out that one of the justices was getting ready to overturn Roe versus Wade. All that's the pro-choice. That's what, 50 years ago, right?
It was established in 1973. So whatever that math is, 49 years.
But and the reason why I think it's such a big thing now is because it's not the first time that Roe versus Wade was challenged. It's just that people are afraid that what this does is that it's sort of like the first step to other issues where precedents were set. So what happens is when there's a ruling that's put down, or a law that's a ruling, or whatever the case may be, from the Supreme Court, basically, that sets the standards moving forward. But in a case like this, if somebody's trying to challenge a ruling that happened before and trying to overturn it, it's scary to think about the other rulings that's happened that's kind of progressed as people. Now, granted, abortion itself is a very, very, very hot topic. Everybody has their different views and opinion as to when life starts, so on and so forth. Some people think it's at birth. Some people think it's at 6 weeks when you hear the heartbeat.
Some people think it's at sex. As soon as that thing jump into the egg.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's in different places.
No, you said at birth, so I'm just correcting you.
No, I'm saying like different. I was giving examples of different spectrum. Like, there's some people that think at birth is when life starts, and some people think
you kind of said at birth though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that like there's two sides of the spectrum. Some people think it's at birth, and like you just mentioned, some people think as soon as you have sex, that's contraceptives are bad because you killing your sperm, whatever the case may be, is like you killing whatever the case may be. So you teenagers out there listening, y'all out there killing babies.
Yeah, because they feel like whatever God have for you can have a baby in this world. They feel like you as a person have a choice not to have sex, which is crazy. But again, you have some people that push for that.
I'll tell you what.
As far so now that being said, there's a lot of protests about you have a lot of people protesting on both sides of, on the issue. You have multiple people afraid that women going forward or their grandkids are not going to have the freedoms and rights as if as they had, which would make it backwards thinking or backwards learning, because every year you think we evolve as a society. Some of the things that we did in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s should be involved now, because we have more information, a little bit more acceptance, so forth. My question to you is my question is, do you have a problem with because like in Florida, they changed it to 15 weeks. So now you can't have abortion after 15 weeks with no exception. So they have it where no matter what's going on, after you 15 weeks, you got to grow with this baby. So like what's your...
Me personally, again, this is gonna sound bad, but I really don't care what other people do with their bodies. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I'm not a person to say we need to write laws to help people control their bodies. Whatever women want to do with their bodies, let them do with it. But I do see the I guess the empathy side of it, to where they're saying, there's a baby in there, and that baby isn't getting a chance at life. That baby could have been somebody special, whatever the case may be. So I do see that side as well. The hardest thing for me, I think, is for both sides to come together, because I think both sides are so extreme. You know what I mean?
I think that's true.
So like one side wants it to where, let me determine my pregnancy up until if I see the baby hair crowning out out the vagina. And on one side is trying to take away contraceptives, like no condoms, no Plan Bs, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's so much extreme. I think meeting in the middle, I think it's a healthy medium. I think Roe versus Wade gave us a healthy medium in what the states have done so far, 15 to 23 weeks. I understand. I know ladies are going to say some people don't know they're pregnant for 6 months. So you got some big people, whatever the case may be. but you know what I'm saying? But I just think...
Oh, hold on. So you say because they big? That's
not the only reason they don't know they're pregnant, boss.
Yeah,
I didn't want to let you know.
Big, dog. These are small people that don't show either.
Kids, not only that, just to go along with what you're saying, some people still have their periods or the menstrual cycle while they're pregnant, so they never knew until the end.
Right. You know what I mean? But I just think, in my humble opinion, I just think that meeting in the medium is where I'm at. I think the 15 to 23 week threshold is fair to me. I think making a decision before then is acceptable. The baby is still, you don't know what complications could have happened. It's a long time in their pregnancy. It's 40 weeks usually, right? And making a decision at 15 to 20, that's less than half or at half, I think is very fair. In terms of abortion, I don't think you should ride out to the third or fourth trimester. You know what I mean? Because then now it's a full-grown baby with arms, legs, 10 toes, eyes, basically hair.
And you connected with that baby by
and
that
you connected.
time. Yeah.
The baby already tapping on your stomach and feeding, like, you feeding the baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's me. I just think where it is right now is a real healthy medium. The only thing I question, I really want to know what is sort of the agenda behind banning contraceptives, banning all these other things.
Yeah,
like, is it really
and all that?
Is it really because of my faith, God, what God fearing, whatever the case may be? Like, I don't know what the Bible says about abortion, but it ain't talked about too much in there from what I remember.
Do they talk about abortion?
It's when I heard about we were going to talk about this subject, I'm like, man, they are going to ask what the Bible say, right? So I found a couple of scriptures that
I ain't going to hell.
I found a couple of scriptures that mention conception and when God think it's considered life, right? Because that's why we all debating now. So when when is a child be considered a child? Is it inception? Is it when they couple of, and it does say in the Bible sometimes that whether it be before they're born, conceived, or something else, right? But when you come to it, most of these pro-choice people, pro-life people will refer to the Bible, and first thing they say, you're killing. So that which one that is? Thou shalt not kill. Exodus 20:13. Okay, you can take that in consideration. Then when you look at what people think is when your child is born or when inception, you could go to Jeremiah 1:5 where it says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. So what that means is God already has something assigned for that person even before the man and the woman got together to conceive. So when you look at that, that can be thought about as that's when a child was born because you actually start making it. Yes.
Right.
Now that would be the point to this contraception, because they saying God already had a plan for this baby to be born, and then you're interjecting by doing this and not even allowing the to be conceived.
So, but I actually want to challenge that because if you're a part of God's plan, nothing will stop God's plan, right? So my thing is, I know people are saying, "Oh."
So you saying, I'm not to cut you off. Sorry. So you saying if
it was God's plan not to have
Tim,
to conceive?
if Tim didn't want to have Jeremiah be born by somebody else,
right? Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like if God wants you to come into this world, ain't no man person gonna stop you from coming into this world. Like God wouldn't. I think the contraception, I think, is a miracle. The way that they explain it in the science world, the way that only a little bit of your sperm survive and what it takes in order to survive, what they got to go through, I think is a huge miracle for that to happen. You know what I mean? Like, so if we are, nobody knows we are pre-life, right? You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows that we're sitting in the waiting room waiting to get shoved into the world or whatever the case may be. But God wanted you in this world. He wanted you to be an impact on this world. You'll be here somehow, some way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think the ones who, the babies who don't survive, the stillborns, for a reason. The babies who are born for a reason. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, those things happen for a reason. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's not what that verse is saying. It's not telling you that life starts at conception. It's telling you.
No, that's what that verse is saying, bro.
It's not saying that.
That's what it's saying. It's saying
if you think about it, if God is truly in the plan, right? And at the time that you and your wife decided to get together, he's already having in the plan to mix of what he's going to have.
I'm going to just correct you. That's anybody. That's not. I know you're supposed to be married when you have kids, but
I'm using his example.
I got you. My bad.
Of course, you can have kids out of wedlock. Yes, I understand that.
I got you.
But if you and your wife was having there's a lot of stuff you're not supposed to be doing because of the Bible. So just keep that in mind. But what I'm saying is God already has a plan for you regardless, right? Right? So it says in Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plan I have for you, the plan for you to prosper.
Of course.
So going back to your theory, if he already planned for you and Cake to have a baby, that means he's already in the mix. That child is already there.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead. Let
me tell you something.
Tell me.
I can have plans for things that's not created yet. Do it all the time. Right?
You're not God. That's the whole difference.
Hold on, wait.
That's a whole difference. That's a whole difference.
No, I'm not saying.
God.
I'm not saying.
We hear you, God.
I'm not saying that I'm God. I'm saying
that what you said.
Theoretically, right? The reason that y'all are saying is because God has a plan. That means your life starts before you are actually conceived, right?
Yes.
Okay. So think about it. Think about a cake. Right, with all the ingredients, right? Milk, flour.
Yes. Go ahead. We'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Flour, whatever. Let's say I'm going to bake this cake on Tuesday, and I have all the ingredients out, right? And then on Tuesday, I'm tired. I put all the ingredients back in the cupboard.
Okay.
But
that's the plan. That was your time when you wanted to bake that cake. That's not when God wanted you to bake that cake. That's totally different.
Because what you did was when you initially said I'm gonna bake a cake, told God what you gonna do.
Exactly.
Then when it was time to bake the cake, God said, "No, this is what I want you to do." And not knowing it religion is only effective of how much faith you have in it, right? Because somebody could just say you felt tired and kept it moving. Well, I'm telling you, because you are faithful, that was God speaking into you, saying, "I don't want you to make this cake," because you don't have the understanding. Exactly. No, but what I'm saying is you don't have the understanding of why that cake. Because although you had a plan, you did everything, you prepared. Because like with most things with people, we like, I prepared, I worked hard, I put this together. Then it was time to execute it. I didn't, God didn't support me, and it's because God have a plan for you. So that's why I'm saying in that situation, although you have a plan in place, God wasn't ready for you to prepare that cake, because you don't never know. You would have stopped cooking that cake and the power would have went out.
Or you would have cooked that cake and somebody would have got sick.
So hold on. So what I'm saying is, God, just right quick, God, let me just ask you a question. So for what they're saying is, they're saying God is saying, I had that plan for you. I had that set in you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part of it is they're saying God is already having that. That's that forward thinking of saying God already have John mapped out, Tamika mapped out, Fred, and with that same thing too, God understand the ways of the world, so He understand abortions there too. So with that being said, He understands Tamika is gonna push forward. He also know John
probably not gonna make it.
John is not gonna make it either.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody is set for something that's and they're major. You get what I'm saying?
And that's the point I was trying to make. I wasn't saying. So the point I'm challenging is people are trying to say it's because God said I have a plan for you means that life begins at conception. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? That's not one and the same. I do think God has a plan for everyone. You know what I mean? I think God probably, on purpose for whatever reason, I won't question him. He'll probably put you in a situation where you are going to be aborted for whatever reason that is. He'll put you in a situation where, you don't make it out. You know what I'm saying? He'll put you in a situation where you don't come out as a normal human or whatever the case may be. Like, that's all a part of God's plan, I know.
But I think for you to go along the lines as well, let's think about it. So let's just say a lady do go through the abortion. Now she can set up and be a story for somebody else of why you should or should not do it. So there's a purpose for everything. It's just that we don't know what our purpose truly is, right? Because we searching, we reading the Bible, we doing all. And remember, when you are a pro-life person or a pro-church person, you're gonna go through the Bible and find stuff that's basically script to support your thinking. Even though we as Christians, when Jesus came, He said, "You know what? I have love for everybody, whether you are a Christian or not." So I think that's what lacking here is because, like you stated before, the extreme that hate so much, we don't have compassion for each other, and that's what we're lacking. Because think about it, I should be able to. All three of us here, we don't agree on everything, but I should respect you for your opinion because that's your opinion, and I should not shun you because of that. But that's what's happening right now when we have it. So when you look at it now, one person says it's about pro-life. I want to make sure I'm right. You got a group of ladies that's saying it's for women's right, right? So women's right.
My body, my choice.
Women's right, my body, my choice. I should be able to do whatever I want. This is what I'm looking for, blah, 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 blah. You can't tell me to do that. We as men can have our opinions, right? Just like if a woman trying to tell us to something to do, women can't tell us what to do because our what? It's our body. It's our choice. But since men are in control of the Congress, men are in control of writing these laws, they doing something that's beneficial in their eyes, not opposed to what they think is best for the country.
Yeah, but I think the argument of women saying a bunch of men are making rules is sort of weak. The only reason I say that is there's a lot of women who are in Congress and in the Senate. It's not like back in the 70s or back in 1800s when there was majority men making these rules. You have women up there advocating for this stuff. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean? So I don't think, and this is my opinion, I don't think it's a matter of, men are telling us what to do with our body. That's just to me a lame excuse. The what it is that you have some people who are more compassionate than you. You know what I mean? Like, or who are more sensitive to the subject to you. So I think blaming it on men not knowing, telling us what to do with our body is sort of one, devaluing our opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Like our men don't put in the account.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, we're involved in, like, we should have a say because, dang it, you ain't make the baby by yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You understand? Like, we're involved in it, and then whatever happens is going to affect us too. You know what I mean?
I get, because I seen other people mention it as well. Hold on, because I had a train of thought when you were speaking. So I'm going to do that right quick, and then I'm going to come and respond to you. So first to you, I think this is not so much about opinions because there's laws being set. There's a difference when you have opinion and you're able to present a laws, which is what we're doing. Because I don't
but
like.
You can have opinions about laws, though.
No. But what I'm saying is the issue is not so much you having your opinion; it's more so that you're using your opinion to create laws. You know what I'm saying? And then to your point, and I think that's really what the big swing is. And then to your point, I have seen people discuss, and it made sense to me too. It was like when they discuss, when a woman become pregnant, she's given a lot of options what to do with that, right? So meaning, if she decides to give that child up for adoption or whatever, there's no financial responsibility attached to her, right? Or if she decides to have an abortion, she make that decision on her own. If she decides she gave up her rights for her kids, she does have a window to ask for those rights again, right? But with a man, it's basically dictation. No, it's dictation on what you should do. So like, if I tell you as a woman, I don't want you to have this baby, I'm still financially responsible. I'm still looked at as a deadbeat dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm still looked at as attached to that. Or even if I tell you I want you to have this kid, even if I say, you know what, we had this kid, but I'll take care of him, I'll do all this, the woman still be like, nah, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand some of the nuance of how difficult it is when you're on the side, because it makes sense on both sides. Because a woman, right, she has a choice to, it's her body, she got to carry it, she has to go through the suffering and pain or whatever entails of having a baby, and as well as a man does have a right, if he want to step away from not having a kid, that's his version of abortion. So meaning, okay, I don't want to have nothing to do with it, don't force me to have to take care of no kid or do anything or so forth. So I think that's the part of it, is because there's no one correct answer. What we want to do is put it as black and white, where it's not, because there's a lot of things involved when it regarding to having a child.
Let me ask you a question, a morality question. Let's say your wife is pregnant, about to give birth, 8 months, 9 months. She starts flatlining, right? Doctor come to you.
Yeah, kill a baby. You ain't got to finish that, my boy. Yeah, go ahead.
Not to laugh at the situation, but once again, that's where you show your opinion, right? That will happen. And I think most cases, when it comes to that, most men were like, I want to choose.
But would it be by this new law that now you don't have the right to do that?
You won't be able to do it.
No, but you know what, too, though? How much is my wife wealthy?
Boy, look at Tavares.
What's the insurance looking like?
You know the insurance.
Mel, make sure you hide all the insurance papers, man. No, but you get what I'm saying. So, and that's the other. I think that's the other part that we got to look at. So when people make it so constrictive, and to our point, what we've been trying to say, and I hope people get it, is that we got to be compassionate to both sides and understand. So if a woman is having really bad complications,
she should be able to.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And she is hurting or whatever the case may be. Now, granted, I don't think circumstances should allow it. You know what I mean? Just because I'm poor now, or my man left me now, or I'm not in the mood now. I think those aren't good reasons. But if it is like a physical harm or her life is being threatened by this pregnancy, you should be able to terminate.
I think it's incest, rape.
And to go back to what you were saying, we talk about Roe versus Wade. The biggest thing about Roe versus Wade, when Roe wanted to fight about it, he was just saying, just give us the options, like give us choices, right? And that's all we ask. Give us choices if we have to do abortion, or we have to what is the other one? We give them away. Adoption. We do. I'm sorry. Adoption, abortion, or other things. Like, just women are asking, please, just give us a choice to allow us to do what's right for us. Yeah. Every situation is different, right? And for those Bible scholars and everything, they do have an instance where if a woman cheated on her husband
in the Bible,
they was able to drink something to get rid of the baby and have a miscarriage.
So in the Bible they green light.
I ain't said green light, but it's.
So in the Bible, hold on, before you get into it. What you saying is, in the Bible, for those who listening, in the Bible, it's giving you a green light to have an abortion.
Green light gang.
No, it's not a green light. So I just want to reference Numbers chapter 5, verse 27 and 28. Now, this is your own interpretation, right? Everybody when read the Bible. It said, if she has made herself impure and been unfaithful to her husband, this will be the result. When she is made to drink the water that brings a curse and causes bitter suffering, it will enter in her, and her abdomen will swell, and her womb will miscarry, and she will become cursed, right? So that's showing you, if she does something wrong, there's a way that you can do it, but she'll be cursed for the rest of her life.
No,
Circumstantial.
But what I'm saying is, the Bible understood choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever reason it is, the Bible is telling you can have an abortion.
Yeah, but
saying, right?
but
the Bible says you have choices. I doesn't say with abortion.
The Bible is very pro man though, like pro guy. Like, you know what the Bible is saying is like, you can't expect your husband to take care of somebody else's baby. What you got going on? You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Bible is very male friendly, and to that point, like, I think that what the Bible is saying, there's circumstances, and I kick another circumstance to you. What if you guys go into your regular doctor's appointment and they basically tell you that your child is going to be a vegetable when they're born?
That's true.
Or have some type of heavy something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Disability.
The disability. Like, what would be the quality of life of bringing that person into this world? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would be the quality of life? Because I remember with my youngest, Tyler, when we found out about the deformity of his arm, the doctor came in and told us it was like 17 weeks, 18 weeks. He was like, look, y'all got 5 more weeks to make a decision. Me and Kate was looking at each other like, make a decision? What you talking about? He's like, well, you know, some people, when we tell them this, they want to terminate immediately. You know, some people want to have the baby. He was like, you know, you'll never know what the technology going to be 20 years from now, da-da-da. But that was just simple. It was just he missed a limb or whatever. We didn't think it was that serious. Like, I mean, granted it's serious, but we didn't think that's enough to, like,
he would still have a quality of life.
Like, he still have quality of life. It just, you have to adjust a little bit, get a prosthetic, keep it pushing.
Yeah.
But I just empathize for people that find out Down syndrome. Yeah. That find out like other severe things to where that child is not, or that person is not going to have a regular life. Yeah. Like, once they're born. Life. Yeah. It's going to be a bad quality of life. You're going to be stricken to a wheelchair. You have cerebral palsy when you got to take care of them for the rest of your life. And it's not like the United States helps you with disability. Like, I know now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know now that, you got to take all that financial responsibility on your own. When that person get in, unless you like on Medicaid or like the super poor, I guess, they're going to take care of you. But if you middle class and up, all that's on you. Like, you got to take care of it. So that's, in those situations, that's why I say they need to sit down, make sure it's comprehensive. It is not only about rape. It's not only about incest. It's about those situations too that I empathize in. I mean, it may sound cruel, but I agree. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Not everybody's built for that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And to go along those lines, I know a lot of people say, why abort? There are so many people out there who would love to have, especially our black females, they would love to have that baby. You should have gave it to this person. You should have given it to this. Don't abort. But then again, it's like, once you have, the baby is growing inside you, you are connected to that baby. So whatever, regardless of how you got it, it's going to be hard for you to take that baby and give it away to somebody else. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. And that's just the stuff that we have to look at through the process when we're looking at that. And that's what I loved about the Roe versus Wade, just options. Why not just give people the option to decide what's best in their interest? What if somebody came to you and say, hey, Terrell, what if Tyler not going to be with an arm? Go ahead and, get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Or he say, you know what? You have the other person, like, go ahead and do it. You have other people who's encouraging you. Oh, don't worry about it. He's going to be good. There's a lot of one-armed people around and all, because they was compassionate and they wanted to give you options, right? My problem with abortion, this Tim Dean problem with abortion, is when they use it as a contraceptive. So you go to some people, how many abortions you had? Oh, I have 4 or 5. You have 4 or 5 abortion? Yeah. You don't know how to use a condom? Yeah. Right? Yeah. And that's my problem with when it comes to abortion is, yes, it can be circumstantial. Yes, give the priority, but if you're using it as a form of contraceptive, I have a problem with that part. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then, I agree with you. And there's a lot of people that have a miscarriage that would love to have babies. So like, just go along the whole line, do that thing. So I just think the idea is we need to be compassionate about each other, about our feelings. Sit down and have a strong conversation.
Don't let the extreme right or the extreme left make these laws. Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make middle And people with good understanding make these laws so they understand the way that it's affecting both sides.
So basically, you saying is do better job of pulling out.
If that's a way of contraceptive, it's not very effective.
I don't know. Let's see.
But I'm pretty sure back then they had certain contraceptives to make sure that you didn't that you didn't have kids.
You think he was garbage plastic bag?
I bet they had plastic bag back then, dog. Nah, they probably used wool, but I think condoms was made out of cloth or something before.
Sheepskin or something.
It was something.
We'll find out on
Something
next
was
episode.
egregious to your inside.
1839. So they was running wild for all that time.
So you said 1839 was the first one?
1839 was the first condom introduced.
It probably was made out of cloth, wasn't it?
What was it made out of?
It was the dude from Goodyear, the tires
was made out of rubber.
Oh yeah, so it was because Goodyear been around a long time. So
yeah. Yo.
All right, gentlemen. There's a lot we can add on this, a lot we can do, a lot we can discuss. I think we just tipped it on the bug, but I just want everybody to. Tipped it on. We just what is it called? Tipped the iceberg. We just tipped it on the iceberg. And I think for us, for me, my opinion is to go out there, be compassionate for each other, understand what people are going through. Don't just pass judgment on it, right? Because even the Bible says, "Don't judge, or you be judged yourself." Otherwise, it says, "Hey, how can I take the stick out of your eye if I have a whole plank in mine?" Meaning I'm struggling with some stuff too, so I can't be judging you because I know I'm going through some stuff as well. We just have to be compassionate with each other and help us get through the process.
And I think this is close mine out. I think any decision that is made, I think you should involve your immediate community, that being the male that's also being affected in his life. And there's nothing wrong with the baby, there's nothing wrong with you. You just don't want to have a baby at this time. I think that should be a mutual choice between you and the father and everybody who's going to be affected by this. Because I don't agree with. Granted, I know I'm gonna get killed for this, but I don't agree with the woman having the whole say so without thinking that it's going to affect the male. It's just me personally. 1, 2. For any lawmakers or any lawyers who might be watching this, or I don't know whoever watches this, I think we need to come and make sure that we listen to both sides. Don't listen to the extreme right, where like we was talking about ban contraceptives and all this other stuff. Don't pull out and all this other stuff that they were saying. And then also the extreme left, who's wanting to kill babies as soon as they're in the doctor's arm. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I think we need to come to a healthy medium, really talk about it, understand circumstances, and then make sure that it's really a law for all.
All right, so I'm gonna finish it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make sure to think that this is a conversation. Again, we're speaking from a male perspective. I get that. So when women see this, they're gonna say we're speaking from a male's perspective, and that's why we intentionally did it, because this is our perspective and it's what we do. So what we're saying, we're not saying that it's right or wrong. We're just saying this is how we feel, this is our opinion, and we just felt like because it is a discussion that is affecting this country, we wanted to discuss it. Secondly, if anything else you take from this, understand that the Bible says that you can't have an abortion, and
the Bible did not say
you would die and you pull out. And you would die and pull out. Green light game.
That's not what
take that for what you worth. I don't know how faithful you is. You know what I'm saying? But you take that for what it worth. You know what I'm saying? And as well, I think we have to do a better job of. I think we got to do a better job of accepting each one's opinion and feelings on certain things that are extreme, as religion, abortion, and so forth. And as well, I applaud everyone to vote and find those officials. I mean, elected. I said it right. That agrees with what you're saying. That's why it's important that I know most of the time we have this debate about voting, but I think you need to have a voice in finding those candidates that's in line with your beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Not just taking it, not saying, oh, ain't nothing I can do. Just having that voice within yourself. So by doing that, so those 3 things I want you to take from it. Again, I want to thank our students for listening today.
Thank you
for today's session. And again, thank you for coming to the Dean's office. It's your boy Dean. Yo.
Tim. Yo.
Duran. Yo.
Hey, y'all have a good day. Thanks for coming out. Listen, yo.